Craig Melvin has spent decades delivering the news with calm authority, but like many who reach the later chapters of life, he has learned that the most profound stories are not always the ones read from a teleprompter. They are the quiet reckonings that happen off-camera, in hospital waiting rooms, in whispered conversations at the kitchen table, and in the unspoken understanding between two people who have weathered storms together. And it was during one such reflective season that Craig found himself unexpectedly moved by the public journey of Selena Gomez, a young woman whose battle with autoimmune disease echoed truths he and his wife, Lindsay Czarniak, understood all too well, that strength often arrives disguised as vulnerability, and resilience rarely looks heroic while it is being lived. Selena's lupus diagnosis, shared with a world accustomed to seeing only polished performances and red carpet smiles, stripped away the illusion that illness respects age, fame, or preparation. And for Craig, who had reported countless medical stories with professional distance, her openness transformed the abstract into the personal, reminding him that the body can betray even the most disciplined spirit, and that healing is rarely linear. A lesson Lindsay had come to know through her own career in sports journalism, where injury and recovery were constant companions, teaching her that endurance is not about pushing endlessly forward, but about knowing when to rest, when to ask for help, and when to redefine success. As Selena spoke candidly about fatigue, pain, and fear, emotions often dismissed or minimized, Craig saw reflections of conversations he'd had with friends and colleagues his own age, men and women who had quietly navigated diabetes, heart scares, cancer diagnoses, or autoimmune disorders without applause or hashtags, carrying on with grace while privately renegotiating their sense of self. And what struck him most was not Selena's celebrity, but her honesty, the way she allowed herself to be seen not as fragile, but as human. A quality that resonated deeply with a generation raised to power through discomfort and keep personal struggles out of public view. Lindsay, ever perceptive, noted how Selena's story challenged the notion that strength must be stoic, reminding Craig that the most courageous moments in their own marriage were not defined by triumphs on screen or professional accolades, but by nights spent listening, by mornings that began with uncertainty, and by the shared understanding that love often means walking beside someone through terrain you cannot fix, only endure together. For an audience in their 60s, Selena's journey becomes less a story about youth and more a reflection of life's unpredictability, a reminder that the body changes, plans unravel, and identities evolve. Yet meaning persists when one chooses honesty over denial and connection over isolation. And Craig recognized that this was the quiet wisdom so many viewers carried with them, the understanding that illness does not diminish worth, that slowing down does not mean giving up, and that accepting help is not a weakness, but a form of trust. Selena's transplant, her gratitude toward her donor, and her renewed sense of purpose mirrored the gratitude Craig felt for the steady presence of Lindsay, whose partnership had taught him that resilience is not forged alone. And as he reflected on Selena's ability to transform pain into advocacy, he understood why her story mattered so deeply to older viewers. It validated experiences long endured in silence, offering permission to speak, to rest, and to redefine what a meaningful life looks like beyond youthful expectations. In the end, Selena Gomez's autoimmune journey is not simply a tale of illness and recovery, but a meditation on grace under pressure, on the courage to be transparent in a culture that prizes perfection. And for Craig Melvin and Lindsay Czarniak, it serves as a poignant reminder that every stage of life carries its own battles and blessings, and that true strength is found not in resisting change, but in meeting it with honesty, compassion, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are not walking the path alone.